Audio.etc is proudly supported by Auto Sound and Security.
What is it?
Surprise guys, I built a subwoofer box for Jess, finally. It's something I've been procrastinating with for a while. I was trying to either find a cheap prefabricated one or, you know, modify one that I had, like an old double 12 one. I was trying to modify that a wee bit. In the end, I just got sick of it not having a subwoofer and I just thought I'm just gonna build one. And when thinking of this design, as soon as I sort of thought of it, I knew it's what I wanted to do. It was like just one of those random thoughts that just sort of came to me, and I knew it's how I wanted to do it because it just matched, it just suited her setup so perfectly. So I'll tell you more about the design in just a minute, but the first thing I wanted to work out was like the air volume and stuff, because I wanted it to have obviously decent air volume. Oh, two fish, one scoop, two fish, one scoop, two fish, one scoop, one burger, one corn fritter. So I started thinking logically about how big I wanted it to be in the back of her car and sizes, and using Rockford Fosgate's website box building helper app tool thing, which helps you figure out the air volume of a box. It's like a real basic version of Win ISD, I guess. It doesn't tell you much about ports or anything like that, but I always have preferred a sealed enclosure over a ported one, just because I prefer a much more linear frequency response graph, if that makes sense. I don't like having spikes in frequencies where you're listening to music and then there's one note which is extra loud, so I always prefer sealed. So I started using that app to try and work out the dimensions that I wanted to make it, what seemed reasonable for it to physically exist and take up that space, and also gave me a decent amount of air volume. So ultimately the dimensions for this thing, this box here is, where are my dimensions? It's 30 centimeters tall overall, and then it's a square, so it's 40 centimeters wide, 40 centimeters deep, and 30 centimeters tall. But that's not the whole enclosure. Obviously there is this section at the bottom, like that's 2.5 centimeters, that's 2.5 centimeters, and then the subwoofer is recessed into it. So it's, where is it? It's overall 28.35 litres with the dimensions that I worked out. And yes, no, I didn't really do like a vloggy style thing for building this. I just did the great big time lapse and now showing you guys it at the end, because really it's a subwoofer box. It's pretty self-explanatory. I just gave you the specs of it. I don't know the resonant frequency of it, but that's all dependent on the subwoofer. But I'm so happy with how this turned out. I very rarely do build subwoofer boxes. It's not something I do a lot of. And I'm always nervous about upholstering because I really like a really nice finish. But this is like a perfect mix of nice finish and rough enough, if you know what I mean. So, it's just a box. It's a square box. Flat top. Every single side is the same. Now this here, before any of you SPL fans get excited, no, there is not a Jonah Lomu subwoofer in here. This is a old emblem of a subwoofer or of something, I'm not really sure what it is. But the reason I put it on here, and by the way, it's just Velcroed on there. I put Velcro strip on the back of all of this and then used a blade to cut it to exact shape. And you wonder if I can show you. So as you can see, the whole thing is just Velcro on the back. And it just sticks itself on there. So the reason that is there is because, like, kind of 2 or 3 reasons. So, first of all, 11 is Jess's lucky number. It just is. She was born on the 11th of November, so that's the 11th of the 11th. 11 is her lucky number. I happen to have this lying around because I found it, actually, quite a while ago. I can't even remember where, but I found it. Jonah Lomu is also one of her favourite rugby players of all time because his number is 11 and she loved him. And also, it says Fusion down there. And like that works out because it has a Fusion subwoofer in it, and I'm using a Fusion subwoofer amp in her RAV4, which is perfectly matched for this sub. So even though it's not a Jonah Lomu subwoofer, it's kind of like just a bit of a giveaway to the fact that it's a Fusion subwoofer and 11 is just her number. So it's just a little look good sort of thing. Because I think without it, it would have looked quite plain, you know, quite plain if it didn't have this. Let's go around to the lighter side. There we go. So that, for the terminals, just a very basic terminal cup, and I know what a lot of you guys are thinking, why didn't you put bolts through the wood or something like that, or use an SMD thing? Guys, seriously, chill. This is going to be a low power subwoofer. I don't need SMD style you know, super connectors or like bolts through. We're not talking about that much power or current here. One of these little, you know, terminal cups will do absolutely fine. So let me just show you a bit more detail of this sitting this way, and then I'll flip it over and show you the underside. So I've shown you the terminal cup, and I've shown you the Jonah Lomu thing, which is just Velcroed on there. How I upholstered this, so the carpet, it doesn't wrap around. There's the edge of the carpet the whole way around. It's all one piece of carpet, the whole box, and I am so happy with how these round over corners turned out. Like seriously, look at that. Like every single edge on this box is rounded over. The verticals, the sides, and even the bottoms as well. I'll show you that in a minute. And what I'm most proud about with this box is how hard it is to spot the seams of where the carpet meets. So the seams, I wanted them to be less visible, so this is going to be the front side of the subwoofer box facing the back of the car, and this is the back side of the box which is going to be facing the front of the car where the wires are. So the seams, there you go, you might be able to see it there. Maybe. If you can't see it, then it's good. I think I can see it. So there's a seam running down here. Where is it? And down there, and then the other one is there. They're very hard to see because I've outdone myself, and I'm really happy with how good the seams turned out because they're very, very hard to see. But basically this, that, and that are separate bits of carpet. There is a cut going down in that sort of style, the letterbox style. In fact, you can kind of see it there. If I get the light behind me, there we go. And it just sort of meets up just perfectly on the edge of the corner here. Just enough to the point where there wasn't any excess carpet sitting on the corner, and it rounds over nicely. And here's the other side. This one you can see. And there. And then up there you can see that bit there quite well, can't you? But it's pretty good. I'm super happy with how it's turned out. So that's pretty much what the box looks like from the outside. Let me flip it over and I'll show you the underside. Okay. So the model of this subwoofer is a Fusion SW120 HD, I think that's what it is. It's 250 watts RMS, 500 watts max, dual 4 ohm, wired in parallel, so it's a 2 ohm load here. And this subwoofer is perfectly matched to that Fusion amplifier that I installed in Jess's RAV4 quite some time ago but never hooked anything up to. So that's a 250 watt to 500 watt amplifier as well. In fact, I think they used to sell this with that amplifier as a pair. But anyway, yes, so it's a down-firing subwoofer. And I'll tell you the reasons why I did that in a minute. But first of all, let me just show you what it sort of looks like. So all this wood here, so the box is made out of 18mm MDF. All 6 sides of it made out of 18mm MDF. This side here had a laminate on it as well, so it kind of had a bit more of a clean finish on the surface and underside of it, as opposed to these 5 other bits which were just regular brown MDF. And then these bits here, I'll show you, they're 25mm, and they are cut out of this stuff here, this 25mm. This wood I actually found on the side of the road in Christchurch, funnily enough, in perfect condition. I'm pretty sure what it is there's one piece there and another piece there. I'm pretty sure what it is like old sort of, well not old, but unused cupboard material or something like that, or shelving. But anyway, I cut it out of that because I wanted the feet to be quite sturdy and a bit stronger than, you know, than 18mm. And also because I really wanted to, I like symmetry and squares. So I wanted like this dimension here to equal this dimension here, but then that also to equal this dimension here. So it's like 2.5 centimeters gap, 2.5 centimeters of thickness, of height, and then 2.5 centimeters of thickness, and then the whole way around. And then same goes for here, like this dimension here is 2.5 centimeters, 2.5, and then the whole thing is 5, you know. So I cut all these legs out of that. You can see that there is 2 of these U-shaped pieces here. 1, 2, and then these pieces here, these cross beams which are joined, there's a join there, and then there are screws in the ends going into it, and it is all, so the whole leg section has got 1 screw in each end there, and then PVA as well, and then the whole box is PVA'd and brad nailed together. And I did end up actually having to redo one of these U sections because the way they're held together here is there's actually big long M4 studs. You might have seen them in the time lapse going from here into here. What I did was I got 4 of these M4 bolts, which we just have absolutely heaps of. I just got 4 of them and I lopped the heads off. And then I drilled 4 4mm holes. Actually, I started off with 3 sized up to 3.5mm holes in the undersides of this thing here. And I found a good way to get them in there by putting the bolt in the vise and tapping this down. But what that did was it actually split open. In fact, do I still have it? I do. So here's the first one. Well, here's one of the first ones that I made. I had to redo this one because when I tapped the 4mm bolt into the 3.5mm hole, because originally I wanted it to be quite tight, yeah, it just split it and there was no way I was going to be able to fix that nicely. So I just made another one of these. I did all the roundovers on the whole box with the table router and a power file to smooth out certain sections and then sandpaper as well. So yeah, there's 4 M4 studs going up and down through there with PVA on the thread of it in the wood and PVA in this connection here. And then all this black section, this is just spray paint rattle can black primer, the HT. And I just did 2 coats of black, edge primer, just spray on. Because you're not going to see too much of it and it's probably going to get roughed up anyway. And then, yeah, the subwoofer, I cut the hole out with the circle router jig. And I also, before I cut the whole mounting hole out, because the mounting hole is about where the edge of this basket is, I went down about 10mm into maybe 9 or 10mm into the 18mm, and I recessed the subwoofer into it because I really like the way it looks, because from down here it's like barely visible up above the box. Camera doesn't know where to focus. I really like the recessed look. So yeah, that's basically how I built it and what it looks like. You can see the edge of the carpet there, kind of. Yes, the underside of it isn't beautiful and smooth, but you're not going to see it that much. So that's really the other thing I need to explain about this box. It's designed to kind of be roughed up a wee bit. So Jess's RAV4 is what we call the dog car. Anytime we've got my dog Jed or my family's dog Jed or her family's dog Jack, they go in the RAV4. Even though I've got a station wagon, I'm still super protective of Judy and her interior, and I don't want dogs in there messing things up or damaging my nice subwoofer box, because I'm selfish like that. But her car it's just rougher, it's got more scratches, so that's the dog car. So the whole point of this box is I was trying to think of a way we could have the subwoofer in there without the dogs damaging them, because they're both pretty rebel dogs and they'll just do whatever they want in the back. So with this down firing situation, the subwoofer is completely out of the way of any dog's claws or paws. So in the down firing situation like this, there's no way the dogs can do any damage to it whatsoever. And because I just know what's going to happen is this is going to be in the back of her RAV4, and the dogs are going to want to put their front legs up on this thing and so they can see up higher, because they would have done that anyway. Even if the subwoofer was a wedge or on top, I just know they would have put their feet up, because dogs for some reason in boots always want their heads to be up higher so they can see better. So this is kind of a nice wee shelf stepping stool for them. I didn't build it to be that, but I wanted the subwoofer to be protected, because I just know that they'd break it, like they'd either wear out the voice cord from putting weight on it, or they would put a claw through the surround. So this is a nice anti-dog damage subwoofer box. And the other thing is I've rounded over all the edges at the bottom so that it's easy to slide around, because typically in the back of Jess's car we have the back seats completely folded up to allow for a bigger boot. It's better for the dogs, and you can put more stuff in it like snowboard gear and stuff, although it is summer here now so we're not going for a while. But we typically have her car set up like that, but we also, if we're taking more passengers, fold the rear seats down. So this needs to be slidable, we need to be able to haul it around. It's heavy enough that it's going to stay in one place when we're driving, but it's also easy enough to move around that we can just drag it further back in the boot when we put the rear seats down. So that's the reasons I designed it this way, So yeah, tell me what you guys think. Jess is supposedly going to come and get it put in her car today. I told her I'm free all day, so she can come and have this wired up and install. It's only taken me about 3 days to build. Like, I spent 1 day cutting out the legs and building the box. Spent another day cutting out the hole, and what else did I do? I cut out the hole and did all the roundovers, made everything real smooth. And then I spent the 3rd day doing the upholstery and the painting of that section and attaching. I attached the legs to it on the 2nd day, but I did the upholstery and everything on the final day. It didn't take me 3 whole days. I just, over this course of 3 days, I got spare time to work on it, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm real happy with how it's turned out. Like, mainly with the carpet, I'm so happy with those carpet seams that it's not even, because I don't build subwoofers very often, this is very good for me. Sorry, I don't build subwoofer boxes very often, so this is, you know, in my opinion, class A. Like, I could sell this. It looks good. And yes, the wooden section down the bottom is like rough. Like, you can still see the grain of the wood and everything like that if I get it in the light. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be pretty down there. If I come around this side with the light behind me, it'll focus better. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. And she can move that number 11 around wherever she wants it. She can have it slapped on top if she wants, or on the side, or move it up to the middle of the face. Looks very good. Oh, so the interior. Yep, so yeah, a lot of you guys are probably thinking it's a square, it's a box, or a cube, a rectangle. It's gonna have a standing wave, because the rear wall behind the subwoofer is directly parallel. It's just reflections on the lens. Huh, okay, so you guys are thinking like standing wave because it's directly behind the subwoofer. So I am aware of that. I'm not sure how that's going to affect it, but I wanted it like this, and I did try and do something to kind of combat it. You may have seen in the time lapse, and I'll stick the photos up now because I did take photos. I put a section of acoustic foam behind it. Like, it covers this whole rear surface here and wraps up the walls a wee bit. We had that left over from, if you remember a while back, we worked on that milk truck, that really old dunger of a milk truck. And some of that was in the kick panels, and it really didn't need to be there. It was like we kind of found it there. I don't think it was supposed to be there. But anyway, so we took that out and had it lying around just in case we needed it. And it was perfect for this situation, because I'm hoping that is going to kind of absorb any back wave and prevent reflection and standing waves. And then I've got just some, some Dacron or polyfill or whatever you call it, running around the outside of it. So the interior should be pretty, acoustically set up quite nicely. The photos should do it some justice, and it should look good. And I can't wait to hear what it sounds like, because from doing the tap test, because let's face it, if you can resist tapping a subwoofer in a box, then you've got some serious willpower, because it's so hard to resist not going doot, 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 doot. So far from doing that, it sounds really good, and I can always tell if a box is going to sound good by how much sort of natural bass it makes when you just simply tap the subwoofer. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope she comes in today. I really want to hear it. Otherwise it's going to be tomorrow and this video will be delayed. Anyway, that's the subwoofer box, guys. Let me know what you think of it. I'll see you when I'm installing it. I couldn't wait. I had to know what it sounded like. Look at the amp pump powering this thing off. 40 watts. Just speaker, positive, negative, signal in. So this is just full range, but man, it sounds good. Let me go back to what it was doing before. Here it is, here's the bass. It sounds so good already. It is distorting a wee bit because this is a tiny little amp. Putting a lot of signal into it. Sounds good though, there's a lot of bass already. I'm seriously excited to see how this sounds on a bigger amp. I need some signal generation. I need a signal generator, that's what I need. Need the SMD SG1, that'd be cool. Remember guys, if you didn't see it, I said in a couple of videos ago, if I can get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I'm gonna fork out for a full set of SMD, you know, gain and crossover and everything setting tools. The SMD DD1, the CC1 and the SG1, I will fork out and I'll buy all of them. So share this channel around and try and get me to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I wish I could low pass it a bit. I'm gonna try a bass test thing on YouTube here, see if any good. I don't want like boosted because that's gonna distort. What's this one here? We'll start off with low volume. Oh, we got a sweep going down here. Boost around 80 there. 60, you can still hear it. Shit, that scared me. Whoa, big boost around 35. Let's go back up to about here. Definitely loud around 80 there. Okay, there we go. Got a bit of cable. We're going to do one big sweep. Let's go forward, but we don't need to start that high. Oh, we're going to go back. We'll start from 138, okay. Definitely a peak right around 80. Dip at 66. Big noise. I think around 48. Around 48 it was biggest. Yeah, 50. Big resonant frequency at 50. Still going. Ooh, 35. I'd say about there is where it really drops off, about 30 hertz. Okay, cool. That'll do for now. I'll see you guys when I'm putting it in the car.
Tomorrow.
Okay, just got home. Got the subwoofer box in the boot here. There's the RAV4, ready for its sub box. Let's go get Jessie and see what she thinks. Where is she? Hey!
I was trying to dry my hair outside. How are you?
I'm in the sun.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yay.
I have a subwoofer box for you.
Ooh! Ooh,
Do you want to
yay.
get your keys?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Because I want to hear what it sounds like in the car as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Am I going to need side cutters? I think, am I? Because I didn't bring side cutters home. I have to get the ones out of my tool thing. Oh, you unlock this. Yep. Okay. Can I carry this one-handed? Probably not. Yeah, you hold the camera.
Okay.
There we go.
Whoa, that's so cool. Oh my god, it's like a perfect cube. How did you do the handles?
They're not handles.
I know, but like...
So, it's down firing.
Oh, whoa. That's so cool. That's the best idea, because now no one will stand on it.
Well, dogs.
No dogs will stand on it.
Exactly.
That's so
I thought
cool.
it's a perfect...
Oh my
By the
God,
way, guys,
good
that was the
idea.
old double one I was thinking of modifying, but then I just got sick of not doing anything with it, so I built this one. So, yeah, it's down firing, and they're like strut feet thing that it stands on.
What's it made of?
MDF. So,
wow.
so the box is 18mm MDF, and then these bits are 25mm. Do you remember that wood that I got off the side of the road that time?
Vaguely?
Yeah, it was like cupboard material and it was like thick.
Oh, yeah.
That I made you go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's down firing, so now...
That's such a good idea.
And the feet are like rounded over, so you should be able to just slide it around if you need
So
to.
cool, it looks like a futon.
If you need to fold the seats down, you can just move it back a bit further.
That's amazing.
We'll get that one out. This rope is actually Dad's.
Yeah.
We grab this one. Grab this old beast out. So now I just need, and there's plenty of cable. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Plenty of cable so we can move it.
anywhere in here.
Exactly. I just need some side cutters.
Cool.
Do you want to go get the side cutters out of my, I think they're in my toolbox under the
desk?
Under the desk, yeah.
Are they like the little ones
Little
with the red handle?
wire cutters.
Yeah.
With the red handle, yeah. She's so good. Such a good fiance. She does need to vacuum this car though. She never cleans it. But that's okay. That's why I said it's like rough. It's just because it's like a dog car and lots of grass and stuff gets in it. But that's the whole point of this box. Oh wait, maybe I don't need my side cutters. I sent her in for nothing. Oh look at that, I already stripped the wires. I didn't need side cutters after all. Okay, that's cool. Yay. And let's plug this in. So this goes this way. I'm not sure if you guys how close you guys are. This is why I need to get a wide angle lens. Okay. I would like a bit more positive word exposed. Negative, there we go. Negative and positive, there we go. She's hooked up. I need to go get Jess. That's the right ones.
I was looking
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Turns out I had already stripped them and taped them up.
Oh, okay.
So I don't need them. So that's fine. So that can sit there and then just push it all the way back there. And because I know what Jack's going to do, he's going to stand on this
Yeah.
so he can get his head up higher, eh?
Yeah.
Do you like this?
Yes, that's so awesome.
Your number?
Yes.
And so it's Velcroed on.
Oh, cool.
So you can move it
Like,
wherever
put it
you want.
In case I want it like up a different way or something like that.
Yeah, or
like,
no,
it
I
goes
mean,
around.
you'd want to keep it facing
Yeah.
down to the dogs, but if you want to put this on a different location, however
Yeah.
you like it,
Awesome.
you can put it up in there or like down in the corner. It just Velcros on.
Cool.
It looks like, oh, it's the perfect width if you want to put only one seat down.
Yeah.
That's
perfect.
That worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll just sit there. The subwoofer's protected.
Yeah. Wow. I'm very impressed.
That looks good. Nice. It's almost not quite OEM, but it's, you know, it does kind of match
It
the car a wee bit.
definitely goes.
The grey.
Yeah.
Let's turn it on.
Oh yeah, that part.
Just a refresher, guys, the sound system she's got in this car, it's kind of the one I had in my Lignum before I got this Legacy. So she's got this stereo here, which I bought for her birthday a while ago. It's a Sony MEX N5050 BT. Rockford Fosgate T1675 coaxials in the front, and then Rockford Fosgate, where are they? P1675-S components in the rear. The reason for that, I went over it a bunch in another video, but it's because those speakers are so low down in the rear, so I put the component woofers up down there, and the tweeters are mounted on the top of those panels of plastic there, so that's why I did that. And there is a big 80 watt by 4 channel Sony amp under this seat powering the speakers, and a Fusion 250 watt RMS amplifier under that butt. And it's perfectly matched for this Fusion subwoofer. I think they actually used to sell them as a pair, so it should sound pretty decent.
Perfect,
so at least it's matched up right. Alright, give it a crack.
Okay.
Whip to it. Man, it's warm in here.
Yeah, the aircon's on.
Turn it down. So we need to find some bassy music, I think.
Yeah.
First things first, we need to go to the settings, set, sound, loudness is on, subwoofer level, oh yeah, it's going, subwoofer phase, subwoofer position, near, low pass frequency, 80 Hertz, slope. See, this is one thing about Sony, they don't really tell you what they're doing, they've just got levels 1, 2 and 3, but it doesn't specifically say.
I can already hear this up though.
We'll go to middle. Oh yeah, it sounds good. Okay. Oh, there we go. Works better in reverse phase. Oh, I got a notification.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit better, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, that's a crazy difference. Like,
With and without it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a nice song. So much rattle in this car though, it needs a serious amount of sound deadening. Like the back door.
Yeah.
That sounds good though.
Yeah, it does. I'm so impressed.
Good?
Yep, it's amazing.
And it should
should sound pretty good for something rocky.
Like
Rocky as well, since you listen to a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's nice and clear as well.
Yeah, it is.
Not gonna lie, the bass is a wee bit distorted, but I just put that down to it being a Fusion amp and Fusion subwoofer. But you know what, I had them, so why not install them in the car, you know, like
when I'm buying new stuff and you got it lying around.
well, yeah,
And
exactly.
it's still like decent. you
Yeah,
know?
like no point in me buying a whole sound system
Yeah.
for this car when
Yeah.
it's quite road noisy, quite rattly,
Exactly.
and I've got the stuff lying around.
And
so
honestly, I can't, like, it doesn't matter to me anyway, so yeah.
yeah, like you'll probably be happy with this.
I'm not
You're not like
an audio
audiophile,
snob.
Yeah. I'm an audio snob.
Yeah.
Some of us prefer the term audiophile.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to. My
Audio snob is totally accurate.
my dad's gonna be so jealous.
Here we go. I love this song. I just saw on the screen how out of focus we are because of the sun glare.
Yeah, it's like glaring right in through there.
the sun just showing through, and it's like really hard to focus when there's sun and then shadow.
Yeah.
If I get the camera down here, oh no, it's just because there's shadow.
It's all
sun.
coming in there.
Yeah, it's at sunset at the moment, so it's really bright. If I go there, that's a bit better. Happy?
Yeah. I'm so happy. Like, I'm so impressed. It's amazing.
Good.
Done a good job.
Thank you. Well, there you go, guys. Let me know what you think of my subwoofer box design. Remember, it was specifically built for practicality, not sound quality. So before you guys or anyone gets on the bandwagon saying something about it being downfiring or just being a cube and not in any way angled, remember, it's practical. The dogs are not going to be able to damage that whatsoever, and she can drag it around and put it wherever she needs to so that she can put the back seats down and take extra passengers. So it's built for practicality, but it does sound good, I think. It does.
I didn't even
it does the
realize
job.
that my car was on.
It does the job, which is what we need for
Yeah,
this car. Like,
exactly.
this car is built to be a loud and fun sound system as opposed to like an audiophile
Like perfection.
quality
Yeah.
system like my one.
Yeah.
This is just loud. The legacy is sound quality.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I think we're happy. I think I've done a good job, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of the box in the comments if I did a good job. Thanks for watching. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you in the next video. Kite Ano.
Peace out and keep moving forward. I have no idea who I'm copying.